It's nice to be a woman, huh?
Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching.
If you were stuck in a forest, would you choose to be stuck with a man or a bear? That's the conversation we're having. Hello, my people. My name is Nosipo Similan and welcome to Color Me Gray. So, I didn't post last weekend. I'm in the middle of my exams, so I'm hoping you guys will understand. First of all, in the beginning, we like to thank more than 300 views on my last video. More than 300 views on my last video, and people watched. Thank you guys for liking. Thank you for commenting. Continue liking, because y'all listened when I said that what's the point of having 5 likes when it's 200 views, and I would like to thank you for that. I can't stop smiling as the numbers keep growing, and I just really want to say thank you. It's helping me a lot, actually. I'm learning, and I like hearing people's opinions. And to the people that commented, thank you for commenting. Continue commenting. Let's get a whole community. Yeah, and I love it. Thank you so much. Sorry for not posting last weekend. I'm in the middle of my exams. I'm almost done with my exams. And the other reason I didn't post because I didn't know what to talk about. And now I do. This week, we are going to talk about, well, the man versus the bear. There's a lot of discourse about this. And I know that a lot of people have talked about this topic, but you are here to hear my opinions about this because it's me. And my camera might be a little crooked, but I don't mind. You like a crooked me, right? Today's topic is a trending topic, but I want to delve into the reasons why I would choose what I'm going to choose. And I'm going to say whether I'm going to choose the man or the bear later on. I'll reveal it in a moment, but I think more people have talked about this conversation. So if you want to watch in depth, I don't suggest coming here. We don't go in depth. Maybe one day I'll go in depth, but I like to keep my personality in the videos, and I feel like if I go like really in depth and do the research, I'll be like doing a research and I'll be reading from my laptop all the time. What is going on? This man in the bear topic, the first time I saw it was a street interview where someone was like, what would you choose between a man and a bear?
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Bear. Man is scary. With a bear.
What I've heard about bears, they don't always attack you, right? Unless you like fuck with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Oh, 100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
a bear.
I would say a man.
I think all of the people said bear. And as the discourse continued, a lot of people kept asking themselves, what would you choose, a man and a bear? And they would ask their partners, what would you choose, a man and a bear?
Okay, but I need to ask you a serious question. Would you rather Cameron be in the woods with a bear or with a man?
This is a very hard question.
Like, she ends up being in the woods alone and is either faced with a bear or with a man. Which would you rather?
Has she developed any skills?
No.
She's not Mowgli
No.
or Tarzan.
She's just her 5-year-old self.
Maybe the bear.
Why?
It might not do anything. She screams loud enough.
I think she's going to give it a dissertation on why it needs to use its inside voice, but...
Maybe. But she doesn't use her inside voice.
So your answer is bear.
So the bear might run.
And I would say 95% of the people chose bear, including the man. The man chose the bear. What would I choose? The bear. I am not choosing a man. And that's the problem, that I am a woman. I would feel safe with a bear than a man. But there's the saying that if it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, you're gonna die. So, RIP if you meet a polar bear. Women are choosing the bear, and Why are y'all pissed? Why are y'all angry? Why is that? Why is that we live in a world where such a hypothetical situation has gotten men angry over a woman choosing a bear? And their reaction proves why we are choosing the bear. Because why are you getting so upset? My guy, it's actually quite weird and concerning. Wow. The topic delves into more deeper issues, including gender dynamics, social expectations, interpersonal relationships. So we're gonna delve into that, and we're gonna start into why I think men are so upset and why they are not hearing the women out in their reasons of choosing the bear. I'll talk about my reasons later on.
I make a motherfucker say, oh yeah, I'm cold as a lion with no hair. If you ever see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear.
Traditionally, in the patriarchal society that we live in, men have always seen themselves as the providers, the breadwinners, and they like to perpetuate this power that they have over the women. The women are seen as the submissive kind, them being dominant, and over time this has changed, obviously. But men have not changed. Even if they are not dominant, they see themselves as dominant figures. And even if the women are the breadwinners, either in the household or anywhere else, they see themselves as the breadwinners, as we see in the workplace, where there are instances where you and another person will work the same position. There'll be different genders, but the man gets paid more, and you're wondering, why is that? We work the same job, Mark. And I'm like, And men have also been given the opportunity to exit between those two. Or maybe I'm wrong. Dominance in the society, as how many female presidents have you seen? Like, men are forgiven easier. So for example, when you're a child or a teenager or whatever, when a grown man hits on you, I'll go back to my other video about being a broke girl with an iPhone. When a grown man hits on you, it's not the grown man's fault per se. It's always, oh, what were you wearing? What made him move to? It's always your fault, as in, what were you doing that made him come to you? Not if, what did a grown man see in a young woman? It's never that. It's always the young woman who's at fault. And if when we're talking about assault and rape, it's always, what were you doing? What were you wearing? What moves did you pull? How were you dancing? How do you carry yourself to a point where the man feels like he can do that? Why did you let him do that? Not, did you say no? Did he hear you say no? It's our grandparents, because they decided to get married when they were 6 years old and they accepted it. Many didn't, but now they are pushing that, or maybe they are punishing us. I do not know. I don't like how we are to blame for a man's problem. Why I am the one who got assaulted? Why are you asking me what I was wearing? I am wearing for my own style and fashion. This thing doesn't make sense in terms of babies get assaulted. Do you ask them what they were wearing? Do you ask them how do they carry themselves? Like, seriously. There was a video where they were describing how men literally assaulted a lizard.
Bro, I'm sorry, what? The authorities said, I've never seen a crime like this. I would hope so. Basically, 4 guys in India got together, made a little group, went out, and found a lizard. Imagine being guy number 4. What are you doing, dude? First off, how do you approach somebody with this idea? How do you find somebody that thinks it's a good idea? And then how do you find 2 more people that think that's a good idea? I have no idea how big a monitor lizard is. I'm not going to look it up. I imagine it's not that big compared to a human. This is real. This happened. And I think that's the craziest part.
Did you ask the lizard what it was wearing? Did you ask the lizard how it carried themselves? Did the lizard push itself to the man? It's the lizard's fault here. The lizard doesn't know that the man has a bright future ahead of it. That's always the conversation. How are we to blame? Today's society was never made for the woman. It was always made for the man. And I will never understand that. And it goes back to this conversation where women are telling you why they are choosing the bear. They are choosing the bear because of such instances where they were put in a situation where they felt like they couldn't defend themselves, or they couldn't feel safe. And y'all are proving them right. Because what do you mean that I'm a good man? And
he's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
And I don't understand why you do this. Yeah, go to your bear where the bear will... And there was a comment that said, the reason I choose a bear is because I won't see the bear for Christmas or in other family gatherings. It's actually a hot topic. I personally have never been raped or assaulted, but I do know people who were, and people who are close to me, and people who I love who were in a situation where they were put in such a toxic situation and they were the ones to blame. And so it really touches home, especially when you live in the rape capital of the world, which is what? South Africa. Before I move on into the rape capital of the world, I would like to talk about this policeman. And the reason I'm putting this video up here is because the policeman, I think he's a detective, the policeman has handled cases where he has seen men and women at their worst, meaning he has seen the actions of a man and what they do to a woman, and why he understands why women are choosing the bear.
Man or bear? I hadn't heard of this until my wife asked me about this a couple days ago, and she posed it to me like this. Would you rather have your daughter in the woods alone with a man or a bear? I instantly said bear, and then I thought about it, and I still said bear. I'll tell you why. My name's John. I was a police officer for 31 years, spent the last 11 in the Crimes Against Persons section, investigating all things bad that happen to people. And to say that I'm aware of the icky things that people can do to each other is an understatement. We can look at this question from a couple different angles, like who would be the most helpful? Well, a human could be helpful. Who would potentially be the most immediately dangerous? The bear. We talk about motivation. If we're out in the woods, we're in the bear's domain. We're in his backyard, as it were. We're not in the man's backyard, so the motivation would be different. The bear kills because he's trying to protect something, or they're hungry, I would imagine. I'm not a bear expert. Men kill because they make a choice. Often men kill because they want to. Often men kill over emotion, jealousy, rage. I don't think this plays into what animals do. Animals are instinctively based. They are fight or flight. You don't harm them, they're likely not going to harm you. What I can tell you is this, is that 1 in 7 women in their lifetime statistically are injured by a man. And it's usually someone that they know, someone that they should trust. 1 in 7. 1 in 2 million, 2.1 million people are attacked by bears. 1 in 2.1 million. I got that last number off the internet. I hope it's right. So, my daughter, we're in the woods, alone with a man or a bear. Me understanding how men will continue to harm women at an alarming rate. I go bear every day of the week. Anybody who says different is a goofball.
when a person like that chooses the bear, what does then say about the society? Because he works on these kinds of cases and he sees them every day. I'm putting it in my South African context. South Africa is known as the grape capital of the world, not Africa, not Southern Africa, the world. So it is hard to understand why a woman wouldn't choose the bear. I'm not saying that there aren't any good men. I'm just putting this into the entire video. I am not saying that there aren't any good men in the world and that there aren't men who are willing to help and are actually good people at heart. They are. But remember, there are some bad men who do bad things. And there's a celebrity now who's trending for doing some very bad things. And they get away with it. But there are more bad, inadequate men. For many women, the reason they are choosing the bear is because it's a form of they feel like it's a form of self-protection, where in a society where they feel like they're threatened and undervalued by the men. And also, they would rather choose death. Also, with a bear would either kill you or leave you alone. There's two options. It will maul you. Like, seriously, it will maul you. It will maul you or it will leave you alone. With a man, there are more things that they're capable of doing. And also, a bear is configured in a way where it can only do two things. A man is doing those things because he wants to. His subconscious is telling him to do those things. And he feels like he has the right to do those things. He feels like he has the power. And he can do whatever he wants. And that is not right, darling. Stop it, please don't.
Stop it. Get some help.
Also, women are choosing the bear because they know what the bear will do to them. I saw a tweet that said they are choosing death, literally. And that's what they're choosing. Also, this is a hypothetical situation. Why is such a hypothetical situation or hypothetical question raising so much? And men not being able to get the point. You guys are missing the point by a mile. We are actually explaining to you why we would choose these things. Now, South African stats. How we love the stats. Between October and December of 2022, South Africa recorded an alarming 5,935 grape incidents, says Police Officer Begicele. Also remember, these are the reported cases. If all cases were reported, imagine how many stats we would have. If all assault cases and all assault GBV cases if all assault cases and all GBV cases were reported, imagine the numbers we would have. People may say, oh, the cases of GBV have gone down. Maybe they have, but the reported cases of GBV have gone down. There's maybe Makumalo next door who is scared of her life when she even sees a policeman. Sorry for any Kumalo person watching this. Releasing the 2022 to 2023 third quarter crime statistics, the minister said the reported grape cases took place at the residence of the perpetrator or the victim, including residences known by victim perpetrators. These were family, friends, and or neighbors. In the same period, 4,992 cases of suspects were arrested for gender-based violence and femicide and other related crimes. In the 3 months, sexual offenses increased by 9.6%. This is from the South African Government News Agency. The stats have decreased, but as I said, I want you to remember that these are the reported cases. So think to yourself, I live in South A at the moment. I live in South A. And this is what I see every day, where women are being misused, misled. Even in dating, they're being lied to, they're being cheated on. And for some reason, the men blame us. Oh, you're not giving me enough attention. Oh, you're not doing da-da-da-da. Baby, I'm sorry. I cheated on you because I missed you. I cheated on you because I love you too much. Hi, bo, Marimpo. I'm actually quite shocked because there's some people who do say that. I'm like, okay. So, my thoughts on this is that I would choose the bear all day, every day. I'm choosing death because I don't know what those intentions. I don't know what's going on with English today. English is betraying me. Yo. It's going right, I'm going left. It's going up, I'm going down. Sideways, I'm telling you. It's flipping. It's doing the backflip on me. I can't even do the backflip. And I'm actually quite shocked.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Final thoughts. Men have to do better and they have to understand where we're coming from. And when we are saying we are choosing these reasons and we are saying and clearly explaining the reasons, sometimes you just have to listen. Because there is the input that you're putting in is not, what should I say? The input that you're giving to me is not what I want and needed you at this moment. I need you to hear me out. Understand what I'm saying. Take it in. Look at how you've spent your life. Then if you feel like, oh, I'm representing the good people in this world and I'm actually helping women overcome this, then you did a good job. And if you feel like you have something to say or you're arguing against it, you are the problem. Because I've clearly stated why I feel this way and you are disregarding my feelings now. That doesn't make any sense. No sense. Nonsense. So, you guys need to do better. And the people who are blaming us, which are our parents and our grandparents and our uncles and our aunties and our peers, because they blame us for these things. They do. I don't know, maybe it's jealousy, maybe it's some other things that we don't know of. Even most people, even their parents blame them for this. I'm lucky that I got to live with such a precious mom that she would never, ever do such to me. Her princess. My mother loves me. One thing I know about my mother loves me. And my mother listens. And she hears me out. That woman in communication are like this. That woman in communication like this. I love that woman. And she's made me feel so safe to talk about anything and everything that I've been through and anything and everything that I'm going through. And she's made that a safe space for me. And it's such a privilege to have that because not a lot of people have that. And it is difficult to live in a situation where you don't have that and people are comparing how they grew up. I don't have a dad. So my mom, being the most precious human being that she can be, is enough for me, where I don't even feel the weight of not having a father. What would I need a father for at this point when she's done everything for me? And she still finds it in her heart to do more than she's supposed to. I'm in my 20s now and I'm still loved the way I was loved when I was a teenager. Nothing has changed. She didn't chase me out when I turned 18. She's not going to chase me out now that I'm 20 something. So, yeah. And we are now at the end of the video. I feel like this video was short. Maybe it was not. But I want to say that the most important thing about this is just that the men that are arguing against it, they just have to listen to our concerns and why we are feeling like this. Because at the end of the day, we are choosing this because this is how we are feeling. So, you guys, that is the end of the video. This is Color Me Gray. Like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. And if you've reached the end of the video, thank you. There are a few who reach. There are not a lot who reach. I check the analytics sometimes if I just want to break my heart. But I don't check it a lot because I don't want to break my heart. And I'm learning each and every day, and I'm learning on presenting these types of topics, and I'm actually cutting it quite fun. Recording is the easiest process of this. Recording and editing. It's getting up to record that's the hardest, and looking forward to talk about if there's not anything interesting trending that I like, because I'm only gonna talk about the interesting topics that I find good to me. So yeah, and that's it from me to you, beautiful humans. Bye-bye.
Y'all know what's going on, and so do I.